That he had had so many arguments that changed his opinion, but never had an argument that could change his vote. Well, probably the platforms weren't as great as what we have today.
Welcome to The Checkpoint, an interactive show that aims at providing a platform for students aspiring to be leaders. I'll be your host, Cliff Aboki.
And I will be your host, Elizabeth Wangui. And without further ado, I wish to introduce the contestants in this forum who will be vying for the position of Vice Chair in the Jkuso elections here in Jport. And on my left is Mr. Simiu Makari. Next to him we have Mr. Alex Maina. Next we have Ms. Maimuna Said. And on my very extreme left is Alan Ochola.
So we will start with the lady. Tell us something about yourself.
I'm a humble lady. I'm social, hardworking, and kind-hearted. I have a passion for serving the community. As my profession, I'd like to serve the community, that is the Jport community.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, next.
I'm Simiu Evans, a younger boy. I have a passion of serving not only the student, but to a large extent the community of Kenya.
Thank you very much. Mr. Maina?
And I'm Alex Maina, a boy born from the Valley of the Rift. I want to say that I'm a very strong and humble person. I want to say that with leadership comes people who are willing to serve or to put the needs of the students or whoever they're serving before their needs. Thank you.
All right, finally.
I'm Alan, humble, always jovial, most of the times. I'm also hardworking. I love putting passion out for whatever I'm doing. Anything I do, I would like to give it my all, and I give it the best. When it comes to giving, I give. I give the best that I can. So I believe what I have in me. I also have a kind heart, as I said. Yeah.
So that brings me to my next question. Have you held leadership positions before?
I've had several leadership positions, not only in Jkuso, also around Jkuso. But even before I came to Jkuso, I started my leadership career in primary. Then I went to a high school, Ambira High School in Siaya County. I was involved in drama club. I was the treasurer, then the drama club. We reached places. Also in school here, I'm the chairman of Jomo Kenyatta University Medical Microbiology Association. That is the course I take. I'm the overall chairman.
Thank you. Mr. Maina, maybe you can tell us about your leadership positions from before?
Well, okay, basically I want to say that I've been a leader since my early childhood. Back in primary, I was a class prefect, to say. In high school, seeing the passion of, or wanting to know more about the social welfare of the students, I was able to engage myself in social clubs, like Red Cross, St. John's. I was able to initiate stages that or encourage people to join these societies. Also, in basics of the social people, I've been a chairman of the drama club, and I also chaired the music festivals in our school. I want to say that in regards to that, I believe I'm a leader who knows about the welfare of the students, and I'm really, really ready to help students of this institution.
All right.
Yeah, and I'm also the finance secretary of the Jomo Kenyatta University Actual Students Association, which is in here. And I want to say we revamped that club. It was forfeited, but I want to say that me in position, we're going to make that association a big one and a better one.
Well, it's very clear that you have a lot of experience. So what good are you going to draw from them and add to your new position, that is, if you get it?
Okay, yeah. Regarding the positions that you mentioned earlier on, I want to say that associating with students has really helped me in knowing some of the problems that they come. And that's why basically I ran for the post of the vice chair, because he's in charge of all the students' welfare. I want to say that as a finance secretary, I've been able to meet corporates. I've been able to interact more with students. You've been able to know where they are weak and where you can support them. And I believe if given this chance, I'll be able to utilize it to my best.
So are you saying that, before this forum, you conducted a research that gives you a very clear picture of the problems that students face?
Yeah. Basically, for you to become a leader, you must be able to evaluate or find a way of knowing what exactly you want or what exactly you want to achieve.
And what criteria did you use to select the students?
To select the students?
To give you that information?
Yeah, I went to individuals, where some of my pals used some of the people from various departments, assess some of the problems that they face, and I also used other campuses, to get to know the problems that these guys face up there.
So it was just randomly done?
Yeah, it was just randomly done.
Okay. Miss Maimuna?
I could say back in diploma coursework, which I did in Mount Kenya University, I was among the few who were chosen to, let's say, be in the committee team that was in the Union of Mount Kenya University that deals with the welfare of the students. Then we came up with an idea of forming a youth group that entails the university students. It was called Jkuso, meaning Mombasa Intercollege University Students Association. The group, I was given a post of dealing with the welfare also of the students, so I got an experience of how the university student at large in Mombasa campus, the challenges they face, and I believe the challenges they face back in Mombasa are similar to the challenges some of the students in JKUAT face in Juja campus and JKUAT campus as a whole. Because they are all university students and they are youths. So basically they all have the same, they all have similar challenges they face.
All right. When you talk about MKU, it's a private institution.
Yeah.
And the numbers there are much fewer. Do you feel that, if you win this position, would you be able to execute your duties efficiently given the large numbers that we have here?
Yeah, I believe so, because under the Jkuso group, we had partnered with other institutions, Mombasa Poly at that time, right now it's called TUM, all public institutions in Mombasa and university colleges and even other colleges. So I had to work for all university students in Mombasa, not only MKU students, but also all university students in Mombasa. So I believe working with students in JKUAT, it's not very hard.
Okay, thank you. Finally?
Yeah, I was born a leader by nature, in holding several positions. From primary, I was a class prefect. Secondary, I was a house captain, and also at home, back at home, have been leading the organization of all university students in Bungoma County. That's why I say I have capability and ability to serve Jomo Kenyatta University students.
All right. I would like to start by what I've heard all of you say. And all of you have accepted something, that you have all been holding positions. And these positions are your platform towards what you're asking for. Now, I would like to ask you about ideas. Let us go to ideology. What is the idea behind Makari, the idea behind Maina, the idea behind Maimuna and Ochola? Now, this is what the people want. This is what the students want. What is the policy? What is your agenda towards your running for vice chairmanship? Please, would you just tell us, and how would you implement these ideas and policies that you've set in your manifestos? I would start with you, Ochola. Yes.
Okay, if I got right, you're asking why vice chair and not any other position?
No. Why run for this? What is the idea behind running for the vice chairperson?
Almost similar thing.
Yes.
The idea behind that is I started my political career not only in Jkuso. Okay, they're not political, but I can say the social welfare and ethics. It started in Strathmore. I was having a friend by named Duncan Mutomo. He was vying for president in Strathmore. And we will do things, charity. We will do things to do with. Actually, we were talking about some a platform like Friends, and we came up with an idea of helping people around Strathmore, because by then he was the president. So in the process of doing that, these things you can achieve them.
Yes. Now, what I'm asking is, what are the ideas? What are these ideas that you're talking about that you came up with your friend? And what are the ideas that you want to sell to the people?
We came up with something, bursaries. Okay, my policies, bursaries. We did things to do with the income generation project, security.
Are you saying you're bringing this to the students of Jomo Kenyatta? That's what I'm asking. What are these ideas?
Yes.
Please, would you just outline the ideas and tell us how you want to implement them?
In security, for instance, security comes up in two bits. The security inside the school and the security outside the school. The security inside the school, they have got watchmen around. If you go outside, where most the bigger population of the school is, we're having a problem.
From what you're saying, I would like to get this straight. Let us get the record straight for the audience. Are you telling us we are only, our only security is watchmen?
Not really.
But that is those are your words.
I give IE.
Tell us, what is the security status? Who is securing us? Because this is in your docket,
yes,
and you're talking about security as your first idea. So give us the facts. Don't give us EGs or like this. Just tell us who is doing this. Who is securing our students?
First, the watchmen. We also have the janitors there, the hostels, and you can also talk about the chief. Okay, it's in charge of the chief security officers. So we have got even the police around. We're having a police station around here.
That police station is a police station for the people.
For the people.
Outside, for the public.
Yes,
We are
yes.
talking about Jomo Kenyatta security.
Yes.
Now, do you happen to know whether these people are really trained to secure our students, or they're just watchmen? Watchmen do handle only what? Rules and stuff. But the security that is trained to secure our students, do you think it is competent enough?
I would say I will not give a definite answer, yes or no, but I'll tell you.
Have you done your research
Yes.
on the security issue?
Yes, yes.
So tell us, do you know of any security that has been trained, or do you know about the watchmen and the straight guys who are around?
I would say they are trained in their capacity to manage our security as students.
If I tell you, like, the security personnel has been trained with the training of the policemen and our security agencies, would I be lying?
Pardon?
If I told you that the security people, the security personnel that is in JKUAT has been trained by, or has training from this training that is done for policemen and the security agencies in our country, would I be lying?
I would say they are not similar, because the kind of system that the national police use is different from the ones that people like, for example, the straight
When you bring out the idea of security, and that is your idea that you're selling your points on, and this shows that you need to talk about security comprehensively. But we'll leave it at that and continue with your another agenda that you have, or the other points that you have.
We also have clubs and societies. That is one of my agenda. We want to support clubs. The idea behind clubs is being that as much as we are in school, the main reason why everybody in the school, we came here on academic merit, I suppose. And we can also not underestimate the power of clubs in the school. In several clubs in the school. So I know the benefits of clubs. I come up with this idea because I feel clubs are not empowered fully to achieve their full potential. That's what I feel. Like for instance, we have when we're doing like things with theater production, we're doing things with beauty pageants. We are doing people who can deal with even Red Cross. We're seeing people who can deal with even singing.
So what do you want to do with the clubs? I'm not getting what you want to do with the clubs.
We want to empower them. How? We want to empower them financially, and even if as a union, we're having a duty to link them to the outside world. That's what we have.
Tell us the steps.
The steps. One, if there's a club, I will use an example. If we're having a club like maybe the theater club production, and they come to the union and tell us, we have this thing in mind, and we want to support maybe buying even of materials that they're going to use, maybe the theater material.
Are you saying maybe, or these are things that you've done? Anyway, I'll cut you short. Thank you. Those ones are enough. I'd like to get to Maimuna. What are your ideas, and what is the policy or the policies you're selling and your agenda?
One of the first priority I have in mind is empowering the disabled students in JQuat. We advocate for the services that they need, because JQuat as an institution has discriminated disabled students.
Are you sure about that statement?
Yeah.
How sure are you about the statement? Because I'm seeing physically challenged students around with wheelchairs, some with crutches. How are they discriminated? Would you please explain that?
First of all, I'd like to say the ramps built in the halls of residence are limited. It was only this semester that two ramps were built in Hall 6 and Hall 1. That meant that a student in Hall 3 who lives in Hall 3 as a disabled student couldn't socialize with other students from other halls of residence.
Are there any that you know about who
Yeah.
live there and they cannot access it with ease?
Yeah, I have interacted with him, and his name is Timothy. I once consulted him on forming a club dealing with disabled students, because he is...
How are you intending to work with that, to work around that? How are you intending to make that not a problem anymore for the disabled students?
I have to ensure that I'll have to empower each and every student, not only the disabled students. They should all know what the services the disabled students need. This is to ensure, this will make the disabled student feel like they are at home, and the administration will feel like us as students are ready to support the disabled students in one way or another.
Okay, so that is your main agenda, right?
Yeah, that's my main agenda.
All right, I'll move on to my next. What is this that you're bringing to the people? What are you running around with the students or for the students?
Okay, basically I'll begin by saying, as the Vice Chair, I'm going to deal now with the social bit of the students of JQuat. One of my biggest concerns is maybe on the associations. I want to create or stabilize a system whereby we can register, we can make sure, I will make sure that I register all these associations to the Ministry of Social Services, whereby we can be able to source in funds directly from the government.
What have you done before that, before you were elected? What have you done as your platform towards making sure this happens, before we go for a commercial break?
Yeah. What I've done is basically, as the finance secretary of the Actual Students Association, I've been able to interlink with various corporates at large, I've been able to see.
Give me an example. Which corporate?
Basically, our main sponsors are the Insurance Regulatory Authority. We've also talked to the Retirement Benefit Authority.
So you want these students of ours to start participating in RBA?
No, basically what I'm saying, through becoming a leader, we will register some of these people to various.
How is RBA coming in?
Basically, I'll say that maybe these students of the Actuaries Association, I can be able to mobilize people to.
They need to start working before they can start giving something to RBA.
To RBA?
Yes, because RBA wants something. What is it? What does RBA want?
What does RBA want?
Yes, what does RBA want?
RBA wants students who are who have got I can say people who are ambitious, and through these associations we can link these students and be able to not only to see the prospective bit about the education, but also the social welfare. And through interaction with other students, we can be able to share more ideas and more of what we would like to implement.
Right, we'll get back to that. But finally, before we go back or we go to commercial break, as the director is saying, let us hear something from Makari. Makari,
Yes.
what are the ideas that you're selling to the people, the policies, your agenda?
My main
Yes.
concern is about security outside the campus.
So you share the same thing
Yes.
with Ochola?
Yes.
All right, let's hear it.
Security, it doesn't basically concern with the security cards, but once we put up some security posts, we have sufficient light that will.
So
replace
what you're
security.
saying, according to you, you're saying that we have not advertised the security positions.
No, we have security, but security
What do you mean
lights-
security posts?
Not posts, security posts,
Uh-huh.
security lights.
Uh-huh.
are
Or posts.
posted,
Oh, all right. Uh-huh.
so that we have sufficient light
So we don't have sufficient light in the university,
outside the
outside the university.
You're now watching The Checkpoint. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the Checkpoint. This is the third and the final session. And just before we give the audience a chance to ask the candidates a few questions, we would like to pose a question each to the candidates. And I'll start with you, Alan. You've mentioned income generating projects in your manifesto. Kindly tell us about them.
The income generating projects are projects that are meant to empower students. That is in the sense that you're coming up with some sort of initiative to empower maybe the needy to empower the needy students.
Do you have a criteria for the needy students?
You have a criteria for the needy students. One of the criteria for the needy students, you have to demonstrate that you have a balance in the fee. That means you have to produce your fee statement, and then if you have a copy of maybe the death certificate or maybe a parent or a guardian, if you can produce them, I can do it better. Even the letter from the chief, just to certify that you are actually needy. Those are some of the criteria that are in place. So the projects are example like shops. These shops are meant to employ our own students. That is the sense that we can have like a one shop and we have like 5 students. That means like in a day, you put like, you are there like 2 hours. So you can find that by the end of the day, you have employed like 10 people. So it means we are going to empower these people in the sense that we're going to give them that opportunity to have something to empower themselves.
You know, when you talk about the shops, you know, the enterprises that are now there, and you talk about employing students, have you also thought of, you know, a better business plan? Because it could be the situation is not as you'd want it now, because maybe they cannot be able to generate a lot of funds or get a lot of profits, maybe because they do not have proper business plans. Do you have that?
There's a business plan. One of the criteria that we're using maybe to select those who are going to be in the shops. If you're going to use the current work study program, for instance, and you have to approve that you have to be also there, you have to have a copy of your timetable, such that you don't want to inconvenience you in a class, so that you have to be there. So a copy of the timetable will be one of the going to be used to select which time you're going to be there. So you have to.
So what you're saying is, if a student doesn't have a class, he goes to the shop.
If you're free.
So meaning the assignments are done at 4 times?
It's 2 hours. You are not there the whole day. You are there for a short period of time, like approximately 2 hours.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Now we move to Maimuna. Could you tell us what you think about the leadership and what has been our largest failure as an institution in terms of leadership?
There hasn't been an interaction, a fair interaction between the students and the administration. And when I'm elected, I'll ensure there will be an open forum where students interact with the administration, air out their challenges they face.
What do you mean there has not been any interaction from the administration and the students? Because in campus, as you know, you should be looking out on the notice boards. You are not called in an assembly hall. What are you talking about interactions? How are you intending to do this?
An open forum where students interact with the administration, whether it's the VC or the DVC or the dean of the students.
Where is this forum? Where is this forum? In the internet?
No.
Where is this forum?
It's an open one-on-one forum.
Mm-hmm. So with the
Yeah, it's not about the notice board, because not all students are go and check on the notice board to update themselves on that.
This is how communication is done in universities. So the moment you start telling us that we need to hold students for forums, then what you're telling us is that we want to go back to high school. Is that what you're telling us?
No, an institution should also make sure they interact with the students, know the challenges they face, because on the notice board, the students won't air out their views.
But there are suggestion boxes. What do you think about them?
I don't think their institution collects the suggestions students
Are
get.
you sure?
Yeah.
They don't?
I don't think so. Because if they do, then there will be some, let's say, development.
So, are you of the opinion that the current communication platforms are not appropriate? Probably they should be upgraded.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
So the next question is to you, Mina. Tell us what Jkuso means to you and how you intend to bridge the gap between the union and the students.
Okay, Jkuso, being a member of JQuat automatically gives you certification to being a Jkuso member. What I want to say is in my forum of bridging the gap, I want to say that we electing leaders who from there just vanish. We never see more of these leaders. We never see of their actions. I want to set a forum whereby we can use representatives from various places and departments, whereby they collect points basically on the problems that the students face. And then from there, it will be aired out or tabled where the student governing council meet. And then we will be able to be in a memorandum of understanding whereby we give solutions to those problems. And then after that is done, we call now the whole fraternity, some representative maybe in the assembly hall, because we cannot all fit there. And then the governing council will be able to air out and give a why.
Don't you think this is happening? Don't you think we're having class representatives who are bringing in issues to the department, and then there it is handled to the dean, then the dean goes to the... Don't you think it is being handled?
What I can say is that grievances are being given out, but there is no effort made after them. Because
So how do you want this effort to be made? Because you're agreeing to the fact that grievances are being put forward, but they are not being dealt with accordingly. Yeah. So how are you intending to make them be dealt with accordingly? And what is it that you're going to do different that is going to make the administration handle it differently?
What I'm going to do is I call, once the grievances have been brought forward, we can sit down at the student governing council, tackle those issues at hand, and then we can be able now to call in the students and to tell them why we've taken these measures, and to see forth that they are convinced. And it can also be.
I'll cut you short, since we are pressed for time, and go to Simiu and give you this question: how will you manage the bureaucracy, the bursary allocation, and who applies for this bursary? Or is there any application is the application enough for these packages or for this process?
I know we've had a lot of issues concerning bursary, the amount is enough. So for me, I will try to make sure that we have to mobilize funds so that we have enough funds for allocation. And also the issue of allocation is posing a lot of challenges to the Jkuso.
How will you manage it? How will you manage the bursary allocation?
So for me, I will try to come up with the criteria that will eventually...
What is this criteria? That is what I'm asking.
I narrow down to students themselves, the friends of the students who will give me clear information about those who are in need.
What you're telling me is like you're going to use friends of friends to actually give you information on friends who want bursary. Are you really going to get clear information?
Yes, I will narrow down to individuals themselves, because application, it doesn't mean that...
So if you come to a friend and I tell you, yes, my friend is very needy, and yet my friend is not needy, and then you tell me you're taking my information to be the gospel truth,
no,
is that the way you want us to go?
Yeah, we have to open channels so that the students access us in advance, come up, tell us when they have in need, and we'll assist them.
All right.
Just before we wind up, we would like to give each of the candidates, just a very brief time to tell us what you're going to do for the students so that we can wind up the show. I'll start with Alan. Oh, sorry, Alan. Yeah.
Oh, okay. What I'm promising you is I'm promising you change. I'm promising you transformation. And I'm promising you to empower people who are needy in the school. So your vote will not go to waste, and it will help somebody change somebody's life in the school. So with the support that you are going to give me, and the support that we are going to have in this coming in the supporting the manifesto, I ask for your support.
I would like to say that I alone cannot work alone. I need the support of the students. Just like my slogan says, let's work together for the prosperity of JQuat. We should come together and ensure that JQuat prosper.
For me, is to say that measures that have taken to curb this institution, or to ensure that we facilitate the growth of this institution, will be to cater for the needs of each and every individual of this institution. That goes by us being able to have a community whereby we get to know each other better. Through my website, www.myshforvc.com, I will be able to create a forum whereby people will register. I will be able to give that domain to the Social Welfare Committee, whereby the forms will be filled in for people who've got bursaries, and we will also give out other information from there.
Thank you very much.
As me, in my manifesto, I have put up some point clearly, so the power lies in your hands. I'll appeal to you all that come up, make wise decision, and afford things for better.
It's been a great show. I have been your host, Elizabeth.
And I, Cliff Aboki. And we are very grateful that you came. Thank you very much. We are looking forward to seeing you on the ballot box. And hopefully winners, or a winner from you, one of you. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a very, very hot show that has really taken these people strength, stamina, and courage to really answer the questions. We are looking forward to seeing them again, but this time looking at them as one winner and others as runners-ups. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.